True believers, this is Dr. T and welcome to my comic book channel. Today I have an Ultimate Fallout 4 Express Tier CGC unboxing. Stay tuned. So before I get into this bad boy, let me give you some background into what's going on here. So I had, back in 2011, I bought 2 copies of Ultimate Fallout 4. I was a big Ultimate Spider-Man fan. I followed the Ultimate Fallout run. I had almost, probably about 3/4 of a full run of Ultimate Spider-Man comics leading up to the death of Peter Parker in the Ultimate Universe. So here is a graded copy of Ultimate Fallout 4, right? I still have another raw copy that I bought. This is not as high of grade. This one right here is not as high a grade as the one in this box, as far as I could tell. This one right here, I believe, is a 9.2 or a 9.4. I had it pressed once. I need to get it pressed again. There is an indentation on the spine that needs to be flattened. It's a color break, but the indentation could be flattened out, and I want to make sure I take care of this before I send it out for grading. I also have 2 copies of Ultimate Comics All New Spider-Man. I have a newsstand edition of these that I all bought off the rack. All 4 of these books. The Ultimate Fallout I just showed you raw, the one in here, and these 2 copies right here, one newsstand, one regular. I bought all of these off the rack in 2011. These are not nearly the grade that the Ultimate Fallouts are. This one right here is probably maybe at its highest a 9.0 or a 9.2, whereas the newsstand copy is likely an 8.0 or an 8.5. And I am going to get both of these pressed, and hopefully they come back at least those grades, maybe even slightly higher. But the Ultimate Fallout comics, they had been at my parents' house for years. And just 2 Thanksgivings ago, I was up in what we call the rafters, that above my parents' garage, and I was looking in boxes, the comic boxes that were still there. I have all the comics now that were at my parents' house that have been mine, and that are my dad's. But I have all of them now. These books were mine that I bought in 2011. Well, both of these Ultimate Fallout comics were up in these rafters above the garage for years. I did not even remember that they were there. And then, to my amazement, I was flipping through the boxes, and sure enough, there were 2 copies of it. I couldn't believe it. I finally had this one sent off to CGC in the Express tier because it was such a high grade. The turnaround time was very quick. It was less than what they were even showing on the CGC website. I believe for the Express tier, the turnaround time was 26 business days, and this was even less. I do not know the grade of this book. It was very tempting to look, but I decided it was going to be more fun to unbox it here with you. I did get the custom label for this book, the Miles Morales custom label. I believe this book is going to be at least a 9.6 and perhaps a 9.8. I am optimistic that it can be a 9.8, but I'm not completely sure, but I'm hopeful. In my last video, I unboxed a variant edition of Captain America #6, the first appearance of Winter Soldier, and that unboxing was an absolute shocker. You're going to have to check it out. And they packaged that book very nicely. That was just a 1-book unboxing. This is also a 1-book unboxing. The packaging is very nice. You got some CGC promotional stuff or advertisements. Yeah, heritage auctions. Some other stuff in here. What is this? Collectible cases. Many of you have probably seen these before. A short boxed advertisement on the side. So let's get this out of the way. And again, I do not know, and this is what it looks like, this packaging. I'm glad they took such care. It looks good packaging. I mean, to get this book graded, the expense of getting it graded, I believe with my CGC membership discount, the 10% discount, I believe this still at the time was like $108, and then plus for me to ship it there, which was probably $15 or $16, and then to ship it back to me, which was also like $16 or $17. But boy, it is just nerve-wracking. You spend all this money. I only spent $4 for this comic. I spent $4 for this comic book off the rack in 2011. So it's not like I made a ton of money. But what this can do, if this is possibly a 9.8, would be amazing. This book right now is going, the FMV for this book is currently just over $3,000. It had dipped last year into the $2,500, $600, $700 range. Now it's back up above $3,000. I do not know. Well, let's get into it, and then I'll tell you what my plans are with this book, depending on whether it's a 9.6, 9.8, and what's going to happen. This rubber band off. Take it out of its wrapper. Let's see. Do they have the... Looks like they have the custom label right there. There's the custom label. I'm going to take a look at it real quick. Oh boy. Here we go. Like I said, this could be a 9.6. Could it be a 9.4? Of course it could be a 9.4. It could always be something we don't expect when we're doing this. But let's take a look. 1, 2, 3. Unbelievable. This book now is the most expensive book I have in my collection. First appearance of the new Spider-Man Miles Morales polybag removed. On the back it says there. That is a 9.8 Ultimate Fallout 4 that I bought for $4 in 2011 off the rack. Can't believe it. Can't. I was just bracing myself that it was going to be a 9.6, and this sucker is a 9.8. Look at this though. On the custom label, that 9.8 is slightly off center right there. It's not completely center. I don't know if that's a big enough deal to say, hey, come on. I just spent all this money to get this book graded. Center the numbers there. But I have right here a book that is worth at least $3,000. And so now let me tell you what my plans are. I thought if this book comes back a 9.8, it's so tempting to keep it. But I'm a huge Miles Morales fan, but I am a big Wolverine fan. And I do not own a copy of Hulk 181. I just sold this year a copy of, I put it towards a Hulk 181. I thought if this comes back a 9.8 or 9.6, to sell it and put that money to getting a Hulk 181. And then I could keep a lower grade copy of Ultimate Fallout 4, which is this one, and use the money from this, or actually just keep this one, sell this one so I can get my Hulk 181. But boy, seeing it in person with this nice custom label as a 9.8 with white pages. And let me tell you, where this book was for years and years, it was not an optimal comic book temperature. It was, during the summer times, it was 120, 25 degrees up where this book was for multiple months at a time during the day. At night it would cool down, but it was not in the best temperature. But this book maintained its white pages over that time. And this is absolutely unbelievable. Let's real quick though take a look at the GPA analysis for what this book is currently going for. The current 90-day average for this book is $3,014. There have been 61 sales of this book over the last 90 days in a 9.8. The last sale was for $3,000 just this month. And in 2022, the high for this book has been $3,600. The low, $2,936. And so February 7th, this book sold for $3,000. February 5th, $3,550. Another one February 5th, $3,450. Another one February 5th, $3,000. January 30th, $3,000. A bunch of $3,000s. January 26th, there's an outlier for $3,600. January 22nd, $3,150. January 19th, $3,350. So this book has been all over the place, but it's hovering right around and above that 3,000 mark. So the fact that I am only in with the cost of the book over a decade ago, plus the CGC grading fees, I am only up to about $140 for this book. So this is going to be a huge profit if I decide to sell it, and it's most likely that I will because I want that Hulk 181. As sad as it will be to see this amazing copy go, I am definitely leaning towards that Hulk 181. If you have any other opinions of whether you think I should just keep this book for the long haul, I would love to have this book. This is absolutely unbelievable if I were to have this in my PC and to keep it for years and years. And then this book is only going to go up over the next decade. And I like to keep my books for a long time. Books that I buy to keep. I buy because I love them, because I love this story, because I loved the introduction of the Miles Morales characters in the Into the Spider-Verse movies. And you know at some point in the next 10 years, he is going to show up in the MCU. Should I keep this book? Should I sell this book? But boy, when Wolverine shows up too, it's going to poke Hulk 181 out of my price range. But true believers, this has been an exciting unboxing. My last 2 unboxings have been absolutely amazing. Thank you for tuning in with me. Thank you for being a part of this historic unboxing, at least for me, on my channel. Like I said earlier, this is now the most expensive book I own in my collection. And true believers, as always, remember, comics for life.